This was a really fun trail. Lots of history. We take the Salt Tram Trail. We go hit rocks and mountains and up through desert plains and snow, and you hit all the elements here. Great trail. We have a great time doing it, so I hope you enjoy. Please like, subscribe, and leave a comment.
Man, I always had stories about the city life and the crazy nights. Figure I should probably give it a try. Maybe check it out, see what it's all about. But the traffic was fast and the money was slow. The people I met you never get to know. I kind of miss this place I used to live
In this
back
video, we're
home.
heading over to Cerro Gordo. We're going to take the Salt Tram, or it's also called Swansea. It's it's a beautiful trail, but all the videos I saw online didn't show all the difficulties involved. And maybe it's because we're early in the season too. Um, we did encounter snow, and well, you'll see. But it's a fun ride. But in the meantime, we're about to cross over Owens Lake, and I mentioned in the movie trail video that Owens Lake was purchased in part, was a bit controversial. And I was going to explain that here as we're crossing over, but I've decided to put that in a separate video because it was making this really long. So if you're interested in the Owens Lake history, I'll show you some videos of Owens Lake and I'll put that in another video. Here is, I had seen this part on the trail, so I knew there was a little bit of rocky area here. But it started out really mild, not much going on. Fun little trail. I got some video of it, but fun little area. This is easy, just a little bumps.
We were on the side of a cliff, I'd be nervous.
Now here's where we rounded the corner, and it doesn't show how steep this is or how off
You
level,
agreed.
but it's pretty steep and off level, but still no big deal. Easy enough to traverse. And I just got out so I could get a better look. What? Because I was afraid we were going to tip on the side or anything. I just wanted to make sure I could get a better vantage point for the camera. More dramatic where you got to that.
Well, he's putting the rocks in the right place.
Now I'm watching videos online. I had seen this spot, so I was well prepared for it. We knew this was coming, but it didn't show any of the other areas of concern. But it also didn't show any of the really pretty sights either. So there's so much to this trail. You hit all kinds of terrain, and this was the first, rocky section you had to climb up. But I gotta say, our little Honda does a stinking good job. We've got over 8,000 miles on this Honda Pioneer, and it does pretty good uh, for a Pioneer. It does really well. We're real pleased with it. We've had very few problems, and just done great. So not far after that's where I decided to launch the drone, and this is the hill climb that we were not prepared for. We didn't see coming, hadn't seen it on videos, but definitely a hill climb, and a fun drive, fun ride. Now, as you can see, there is quite a cliff there, and I'm not going to lie, right about there where that thing tipped off that edge, and it may not look like it's tipping that much to you, but trust me, our angles were extreme, and if you were sitting in it, it felt way worse than it looked. So I was ready to get off that hill at that point. It was a fun ride, but I was ready to be done with that climb because I hadn't didn't realize we were going to be doing edge of the mountain stuff. Surprise! And I was trying to fly the drone and hang on for dear life and keep an eye out in case I needed to bail. So yeah, trying to fly the drone and see what he's doing. It was an interesting ride. About here, I was able to breathe again, and Vic was laughing at me, but I was glad to reach the top of this mountain, and so I took a few moments to take some more drone shots of the area to get some of the views, which I'll include here. But it was a fun ride, and we really enjoyed it. That was a incredible views. There are incredible views here. So hope you're enjoying the video.
I was quietly protective of my heart to reassure that I couldn't break to pieces and be left alone once more. If you hadn't been so patient, you'd be easy to ignore. You put up with all my till you didn't anymore. And now I stand here calling at your door. Oh, now I stand here calling at your door. Yeah, I'm yours, anywhere you want. Yeah, I'm yours, and now we're singing. I have been too self-involved, been protective of my feelings, but somehow you made me fall. You got underneath the surface and you shattered every wall. And I know I got that feeling, there's no question anymore. And now I stand here calling at your door. Oh, now I stand here calling at your door. Yeah, I'm yours, anywhere you want. Yeah, I'm yours, and now we're singing.
After the steep hill climb where I showed you with the drone, we weren't quite sure what the rest of the trip would be, but man, it just kept getting better. Such a pretty ride. The landscape totally changes to more of a flat, and you think, okay, so this is what we're going to do. It's going to be no trees, more desert. And then just when you get comfortable with that, the terrain changes again. So I'll show you a little bit of that. And here's where we started hitting some of the trees, and the elevation went up and down, and you get hit some elevations here. We still hit snow in areas, but just beautiful. And like I said, we didn't see any wildlife. We were looking for elk or antelope, but didn't see anything. But boy, was it sure pretty. There's a lot of campsites up here, and after driving through this, you're going, okay, this is what we're going to see, and then suddenly you kind of emerge into more of the plains again with no trees and up on the side of a valley. So it just keeps changing as you're going through it. And then you see we start hitting snow on the side of this, or the top of this peak or hill or whatever you want to call it. A little slick, but just gorgeous. And here you can see we stopped because the views were just stunning. The other thing you might be noting is that there is no one else out here. We have seen no one else on this trail as of yet. Once again, here I started thinking it was a slight bit sketchy because I wasn't sure how muddy or slick, but there's somebody else had went through and had another trail there, so we just kind of followed their route and went on up. But yeah, a little sketchy with all the snow up there, but just stunning views from up here. Don't you do it! Don't do it! Ooh. You know, it keeps changing. You hit the trees again, you go, okay, we're back in trees, and then you hit plains again. And if you can look just ahead up on the hill, you can see the salt tram or some of the remains of the salt tram. So that was a pretty cool sight, I gotta say. What is this?
Said it was a salt tram.
Oh, so that must be salt down there. Salt Tram Summit Station. Salt Tram is in engineering and construction. Huh. Oh, wow. Ooh, soft floor.
Yeah, softer porch.
Yeah, I'm not going out there. Oh, that looks...
Somebody can kind of.
That's beautiful, though.
Yeah, it's here you can walk.
Yeah, I could. Or I could stay right in here and
Somebody's done some work.
some work on it. Look at all the nails. Box of nails. Somebody brought them up here to
Yeah.
work on it. Old stuff. Shasta. Ola.
Stay out of there.
Yeah, that looks dangerous. They locked the back door, which I don't blame them. This is cool. Okay.
Yeah, but there's a lot of holes in the roof.
Yep.
I never would have guessed some salt. Close the door.
Oh, didn't realize you did.
There's the outhouse. Huh, it's all under machinery, all up under there. That broke and that shut them down probably. That big wheel.
Be careful.
Still pretty.
Stunning views. Huh. After all the miles it took to get here, climbing up the hills, over the rocks, we did not want a little bit of snow to stop us. And at first, it didn't seem that bad. But as we go on up, it gets worse and worse till there's a point where the whole road's covered in snow. It's worse up ahead, and it's a little slippery, and we might make it, but would we slip off? So, what to do was the next question. And we did not want to have to go back because it was a long ways back. So, we debate a few minutes and we figure out a plan. As you can see, here is where it really got pretty wily. And it looked like somebody had went off to the left, but it doesn't look it on camera, but it's pretty steep off there. And with the mud and there's a hole and it's tilting pretty bad off camber. So, like I said, the camera just doesn't show angles. But so we had to come up with an alternative plan that we felt comfortable with. It took us a little bit to kick the tires and wander the snow and us to make a decision, and then we figured out a plan. The plan was find another way around it. So we did. We found another place where somebody else had already went. It was already a road there, a trail through, and went over a mountain to get there. So you do what you got to do. And this time, fortunately, we were able to find another route. Vic had spotted this road as we were heading up to where the snow was, Obviously the other one looked like the main road, but somebody had come up here, so he thought, why not try it, see if it would take us around the snow. And fortunately, it did, so we were able to continue on. But oh my goodness, the views from here of Owens Lake, even though it's mostly empty now, and but still the stunning views of the Nevada Sierra Mountains and the remains of Owen Lake, just incredibly gorgeous. Now, this entire ride, we hadn't seen anyone until now. We're on a ledge road and there's a Jeep coming up. It figures. So we stopped for a moment and talked to them before we went on. Uh, Cerro Gordo mine is just right around the corner from here. So, yeah, the first person we've met on the trail, go figure.
I gave you a room, a place for the night. I'm so sorry to see you enter the fight. You said as a child you always took off. Now it's sad just to see what's become of us. You mumbled something to me.
And here we finally make it to Cerro Gordo mine. Now, I'm just going to show the drive through there. I'm not going to show much from here. Cerro Gordo mine has been documented very well by the owner here. We do come back another day and we actually meet him. He's got YouTube videos out that are incredible about this mine and him living on in a ghost town and all that. So if you're interested in that, check his out because he's doing a better job than anything I could do on it. So, but here is the drive through, and that's how we got here. Fun experience, and we loved this trail. So, hope you have enjoyed it.
Now I know that it hurts. You're down in limbo, where you belong. We're down in limbo, where we belong.
I'm going to leave a little bit of the main road up to Cerro Gordo, and I'm just going to speed it up a little bit so you can see. This main road it's really cool. You can see several mines there, but it's also where the opening scene, or not the opening scene, the first time you see Iron Man in the first Iron Man, where he walks out of the cave and he's in this Iron Man outfit. That's actually done on this road, and the guy from Cerro Gordo Mines, that his YouTube actually has the GPS coordinates on one of his links to it. So pretty cool to see. This whole area has been used for countless movies, obviously for Movie Road, but beautiful trail, beautiful ride through here. The views are incredible and it was a lot of fun. So I hope you have enjoyed it. I'll leave the little bit of this road and a little bit of the way as we go through Keeler on the way home, which is a very small town. And so I hope you have enjoyed it. If you do, please like, subscribe, leave a comment. Really helps the channel. If you subscribe, comment, it it all makes a difference, and we do appreciate it. So thank you for watching, and this is A Way.